We're going to do something a little different today. As always, Buzz here to help you go through a nice stretch and recovery Friday. As you can see, I'm kind of at a different location here. This is my home office, if you want to call it that, loosely set up. Laptop obviously being used. So this is kind of where I set up. Nice little window here to enjoy the view when I can. But I wanted to go through some stretches that you could be doing at home if you're stuck in your home office. So a lot of times you see us doing these stretches and workouts at the gym, the studio. We have access to all this equipment. But if you don't and you want to just do a quick stretching routine, that's what we're going to go through today. So we're just going to do about 10 stretches or so. It should take about 10 minutes or less. It's going to be nice and quick, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay? So as you can see, I'm already here in my computer chair. So if you want to get one accordingly, this is something you can do 2-3 times throughout the day. A nice little way to break up if you got a bunch of emails or in between meetings, that type of thing. All you're going to do is sit up nice and tall. Pinch those shoulder blades backwards. Really, really far. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're opening up the chest and squeezing those arms back. So hold it. 3, 2, 1, and then roll them forward. Same thing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. What I want you to do is we're going to work through forward and back 5 times with that 3-second pause. So here we go. Sit up nice and tall. Notice my back is straight, head to toe, or head to hip, I guess in this case since I'm seated. We're going to go backwards for 3, forwards for 3. I like to incorporate breathing into it, so deep breath in when I go back for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 3 seconds. Two more times. Last one. All the way back. Good. That's just a nice way to kind of loosen up our upper body, especially if we're hunched over our desk all day typing. Next one I want to do is, again, to focus on those shoulders. So we're in a seated position. We're going to raise that right arm up, reach it down behind our back as far as we can. And then from that same spot, we're going to take our opposite arm and pull on this elbow here to stretch ourselves over. So from a nice seated position, you don't have to worry about balance. You can kind of lean into it. We're just going to hold this one a little bit. You're going to feel a nice stretch here in your tricep, a little bit in your shoulder, and then all the way down your side here too. Big stretch. Good. Back up. Shake it out. Same thing with the other side. Reach the left arm up. Bend and reach behind as far back as we can. Grab that elbow and pull and lean. All right, and relax. Shake them out. We're going to do one more shoulder stretch, and then we'll move down to the rest of the body. So going back to that right arm, pulling it across, grab with the left. Just a nice, simple pull across. Now the keys with these, especially in a seated position, is we don't want our arm to hang down here. Up, nice and parallel to the floor. We're pulling it across till our shoulder is in the midline of our body. Then we're going to take this chin and try to tuck it over that shoulder. You should really feel it on the outside here. We don't have to hold it for very long. Just enough to get a nice stretch. And release. Same thing to the other side. Left arm, parallel, big pull, tuck that chin. and release. All right, so now we're going to stand up out of that chair. I think we've done enough. Well, have we? Let's do one more in the seated position. I'm going to tilt this camera down here so you can kind of see, take myself out of it. From a seated position, you can see I'm standing up nice and tall. We're going to take that right leg, bring it across our left knee here. And all you're going to do is use the inside of that right knee and push down to focus on stretching our hips here. So I'm going to push, you're going to push. We should feel a nice stretch right here, real pinpoint spot in our hip flexor. Again, this is an area that often gets tight from seating or a seated position. Sitting, sorry about that. And let's switch to the other side. Left knee comes across. Really push down on the inside of that left knee. Feel a big stretch here, right in that left hip. Good. All right. There's my beautiful face. Back up we go. So now we're going to stand up out of that chair. Again, I'm going to come out of frame here just so you can see. So you got your desk here in front of you, okay? Before we go to the rest of our upper body or lower body, I want to focus one more stretch for our upper body. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your chair. Hopefully it's not a roller like mine. Hopefully it's something seated, but if it is, just be mindful of that. And what you're going to do is you're going to reach it out in front of you as you're walking your feet and hips backwards to where your back is almost parallel to the floor. Once it's parallel, you're going to drop your head, drop your chest down towards this floor, and you're going to feel a big stretch here in your lats, your shoulders, and your low back. So now the key, I'll walk forward here, is these hips too. See these hips? See me shaking these hips? I know you do. So we're going to be standing up nice and straight, and we're pushing those hips backwards, which forces us to become parallel to the floor. And we're just taking a big stretch here. Drop the head down, trying to get the top of the head to the floor, chin into your chest. Nice big stretch in your back. Now, I know I said hopefully you have a steady chair, not a roller, but if you do have a roller, it's nice you can kind of roll forward deeper into the stretch, or roll it back, make the stretch a little bit easier. But we're going to hold it for another 10. This is just a really great one to straighten or lengthen the spine, stretch the lats. Try to keep that back rounded, open it up a little bit, then maybe drop it, flatten it. All right. So, we got some shoulders done. This is some back. Now let's go after those legs. Okay? So, we still got our handy dandy chair here. One of my favorite ones to start with is use that chair for balance. You're going to reach down here, grab your ankle, pull that hip and knee in, and try to get that knee straight down to the floor. So, two things here. One, your first focus is to get this heel to touch your butt. Notice how when I do that, my knee jumps forward. We don't want that. So once it touches our butt, we want to pull that knee back, straight in line with our other leg. The other thing too, oftentimes you'll see is people grab and hold it out here. We don't want it out here. We want it straight underneath us, lined up with our other leg. Nice and tight. Feel a big stretch in that quad. And again, we don't have to hold this very long, just enough to feel a big stretch and release. Let's go to the other side. Slide my chair. Let's go a little lower. Reach down, grab that foot. Remember, foot touches our butt first, knee goes out, pull it back in. This is what it looks like from the front. We're in line, we're not out here, we're underneath. All right, so the last two we're going to do, real simple, I'm sure you've seen them before. We got our chair facing us this time. I'm going to drop down just to say hi. We got our chair facing up this time. All I want you to do before you sit back down and get back to work is take that right leg, pop your heel up on top. We're going to take this back of the knee down to the floor, so we're not straight here. We're almost at like a slight angle coming up here. So we're really overextending that knee to get a nice stretch, and then we're taking those fingertips, reaching down for those toes. So you should feel a nice stretch in your hamstring. If you need to get lower, you can bend this bottom leg, get down lower, you feel this tighten up, or if you're really flexible, you can turn your chair around and put your foot up on top. Now this will increase that angle here to really feel a stretch in your hamstring. So I'm going to go up top here, hold it for a few seconds, nice big stretch. Switch. Whoa, be careful when you switch. Pop that other foot on top. Same thing. Big stretch here, right in the hamstrings. This is what we're targeting. So another thing I want you to be mindful of is if you can't get your foot to the top of the chair right away, start with the bottom. So we can start down here. We can reach for it. Loosen up that hamstring to start. And as we get looser, we can move over to that chair. All right. So that's it. That's the at-home Buzz stretch recovery workout. Sometimes you don't have a full half hour or so to go through all those stretches, even though you should make time for it. Sometimes we're in a rush and we're just at home. This is I want you to try to incorporate throughout the week. At least 1 or 2 times, preferably maybe Monday or Tuesday when we're just starting the week off. Things can be overwhelming. And then maybe Thursday or Friday, a great way to end the week, kind of relieve some of that stress going into the weekend. So we get our shoulders, our back, hips, hamstrings, quads. You're good to go. Any questions, comments? If you like the video, give it a like. If not, send us an email or something at virtualwellness@tryhealth.com. And as always, I'm Buzz. Thanks for joining. And remember, balance is everything.